Hi again. Let's continue our discussion of React and Redux. We're doing kind of a simple example here. We're going to do some more features with it just using Redux. And if you follow through and kind of solve all these problems, I think that you'll have a stronger understanding of Redux. Okay. In the last video, we added a total component, right? That gives us the total of all the counters. Right, and we can see that the counters update when we update the store, and then the total component captures the list of numbers and adds them all up to display the total. Let's repeat that thing that we did last time with this, because this is like kind of the trickiest part of the whole thing. And let's make two more components, okay? And then we'll do some more interesting stuff in the future, right? So let's kind of repeat what we did before. I'm going to make a max component, right? Let's call it max.js, right? And this component right here is going to show us the maximum value, like the highest value on out of all the counters, right? And what I want to do is I want to import, React, and component from React, and then I want to import, connect from React Redux, okay? And then we'll make a class, and this will be called the max class, and it'll extend component. And again, we'll do the same procedure we did before, right? So we'll add const map state to props, right? And this function takes in state, okay? And this component won't have a map dispatch to props. So now we're going to connect it. So what we'll do is we'll say export default connect, and then we want to pass in map state to props, and then it returns a function, and we'll pass in our component and connect it with this map state to props. So map state to props, we got to finish here. We got to return the value, and I think this guy's just going to return. It's going to take in counters there and state, and it'll get counters off of state. So we'll take counters off of state and pass them in here. And then we can make a component that renders the maximum value, right? So I'll say render, and this should return some JSX. So we'll return a div, right? And then what do we do here? We'll I'll put another h1 in here, right? And what I want to do is let's say max right here. I'll say max colon, right? Maybe I should do that in the total component too. I'll put the name total in there just so we can tell, right? So I'll save that. So now it'll say total 99, right? And the max component will say max. And what I want to do is I want to return the maximum value, right? So we'll do that. This will be pretty easy, right? So what we'll do is we'll say math.max, and I think with max you can pass in any number of numbers, right? So what we'll do is we'll say this dot props dot counters. So those are all of our numbers, but we'll use the spread operator to spread them out in here, and then this will return the maximum value out of all the values here. Okay. So that's pretty good. So I think we're all set, right? That was pretty easy, right? We just mapped to some value off of our application state. Let's go use it. So I'm going to go to my app.js, and I'll import the max component from max, right? Oh, I got an error here. Total is not defined. Wait. Total, where did I put that? Wait, oh, that's in max component, so I got some problem there. Let's go look at it, right? Oh, I put total there. That was a total error, right? Okay, so anyway, so that's good. So let's go back to app.js now, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the max down here after the total, right? So we'll say max slash, right? And then I can see the maximum count is 99, and I can turn these down. Let's actually turn that one down there, right? Let me actually do this. Let's go to combine reducers, and I'm going to change that default value. So let's make 3 counters, right? And they're both 0, so that the maximum and the total are 7. Now the total is 12, but the maximum is 7, right? And there we go, right? So that was pretty easy. And if we think about that again, this is really pretty good because we didn't ever manage a bunch of other components to move state between one component or another, to lift state up and then pass it down as a prop specifically in that component. Okay, remember, like if we had the value stored here in app, we would have to pass it in as a prop here and here. Instead, all the work of going out and grabbing the piece of state that was important fell to the component itself. So max just gets the value that it wants off of the store, and then the same for total, right? And counters does the same thing, right? In our case, we only have one piece of state. We'll add more later, but essentially it's kind of easier for us to share the value across, or the values across all the components, and the components can handle those values any way they want. Okay. Anyway, so thanks for watching, and we'll do some more stuff in the next video.